Everyone loves a single-player experience with a great narrative, and especially if you have some freedom in it. In this video, we'll talk about some underrated single-player open-world fails. Yakuza 0. Yakuza 0 is one of my favorite games of all time. It's got a sensational story, amazing combat, immersive world, and deep characters. It has a slow start, but once you meet the main three antagonists, it kickstarts for real. If you're someone who enjoys anime and crime dramas, this is for you. I give it a smooth 9 out of 10. It's rare for a game to be so engaging with so many memorable moments. There are a lot of things to do in the dense world of this game. Even though the map is a little small, it is filled with a damn lot of activities, toy car race tournaments, rhythm games with karaoke and dancing, cabaret, and business management mini-games. This game has a lot of content in the form of mini-games and side quests, and every one of them feels whole. You can see that the devs really put a lot of thought into every aspect of Yakuza 0. Kingdom Come: Deliverance. I first played this game in 2020, around 3 years ago, and honestly, this game requires a lot of patience. It's a game set in realism. Things that would take a few seconds in another RPG take much more time. And I mean time in real life. This is definitely one of the most believable game worlds you can play in. But before the game requires a huge amount of patience from the player to learn the world and to properly interact with its systems. Also, one thing I would like to talk about is the sound design. It's freaking great. Moving on different terrain is very noticeable to the point where you can almost center your force on roads based on the sounds the hooves make. At the end of the day, I liked this game and would definitely recommend. But just make sure if you pick up Kingdom Come, you've played a few RPG games before. Red Faction Guerrilla still holds up as one of the best open-world destruction games. I've nothing to argue here. It's a dumb fun game which lacks in many areas, but these all have the counter-argument that you can destroy things the whole time in a way that hasn't really been matched. I think all the Red Faction games have similar pros and cons. The others are all linear shooters rather than open world. Sometimes I would just run around with a sledgehammer and destroy stuff in different ways to watch it collapse. Even to this day, this game has no other competitors. I've seen about one that had better destruction, but it has zero combat. You can engage in quick gameplay when you have a limited amount of time. The game is basically an open world with main missions and side missions. There's no order that each mission needs to follow. I like how sometimes the objective is not to kill all of the enemies in a particular location, but to create diversions that allow you to get the mission done. Must-own game if you love destruction and its physics. Decent open world filled with repetitive yet fun activities. Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Not sure if it counts, but so many people dismiss it being a great open world cause it's a Ubisoft game, which I do get, and different from past Assassin's Creed games, but it's an incredible showing of grace. I can easily say one of the best and most beautiful open world action RPGs of all times. This is a long game. Took me 80 hours to beat the main story with heavy amounts of side content done, so it's best to take it a little bit at a time if you need to. Mad Max. This game is criminally underrated. I'm not saying it's a masterpiece, but the world, ambience, and overall feel is great. Games that tie in with films are rarely good, but Mad Max is certainly an exception. The core gameplay loop sees you constantly exploring and engaging in incredibly satisfying vehicular and hand-to-hand combat. Upgrading your car and Max adds a real sense of progression to the game and gives you a reason to wander the wasteland. The moment-to-moment gameplay and the stunning scenery are more than enough reasons to pick this game up. Just Cause 3. Just Cause 3 is a great game. It is GTA on a beautiful Mediterranean island with unbelievable movement mechanics and a lot of destruction, really fun gameplay, and a ton of content to experience. For a 2015 game, the visuals are really great. The map is super diversified and colorful, mixing mountains, seas, beautiful fields, forests, and cities of various sizes. Using your grapple, guns, grenades, cars, or the awesome weaponized DLC Bavaria Moitsu. The challenges are really fun, essentially letting you play mini-games within Just Cause. The Just Cause series always have been full of great ideas like the grappling hook, parachute, and the new wingsuit that was brought in for Just Cause 3. The idea of being able to do whatever you want without having to deal with the consequences is a whole new experience. The map is probably one of the best things about Just Cause 3, from the oceans up to the mountains. The map is also built perfectly for messing around, like riding down a mountain in a boat, or something crazy but fun like that. Mafia 2. So much action, amazing story, loved playing in the 1940s and 50s, and loved the soundtrack. The characters in Mafia 1 were great, but in Mafia 2 they're amazing. The story and world building is fantastic. It consists of elements from both The Goodfellas and The Godfather. Look, I understand that my perspective is highly biased and I may be looking through rose-colored glasses about the game, but I do think that it is a game that is criminally underappreciated. Mafia 2 is easily the best game in the entire franchise. It might even be one of the greatest open-world games ever made.
Where'd you get all this money, Vito?
Sleeping Dogs. Sleeping Dogs is very underrated open-world game. The game needs more recognition. I hate how people always label crime open-world games to be GTA clones when some games are different. Once you get a grip on it primarily being a melee combat game, and the skill trees, things get very fun, combined with RPG elements of grinding to level up your character. An immersive, gorgeous-looking world with polished graphics that almost perfectly replicates Hong Kong. A great storyline that kept me hooked, fun and challenging combat system, and just all-around a fantastic game. If you're a fan of GTA and looking for something to play, I implore you to pick this one up. Days Gone. Days Gone is almost the same like The Last of Us, but with bigger world to explore. I like post-apocalyptic games, and this one is kind of unique with the whole biker gang theme. In the beginning, your weapons suck and you'll struggle to deal with small groups of enemies. Eventually, you've got a full collection of guns, darts, and explosive that let you take on hordes of hundreds at a time. There is also a lot of stealth gameplay to take out camps of enemy humans. You also get to customize your bike a decent amount. If you're at all into open world games and zombie apocalypse settings, give it a try. Mafia Definitive Edition. Now hear me out. This game is pretty linear. The story is divided into different chapters, and you can wrap it up in under 10 hours. If you like Godfather and GTA, this is like Godfather theme made in the style of GTA. The city and environment looks thriving and beautiful and historic. It's not exactly open world because each mission starts up immediately and automatically after last mission was finished, but you still get to see much of the world. If you like GTA missions and shooting, it's very similar. Maybe it doesn't quite have the same fluidity and polish as GTA games, but it's still a lot of fun. I actually really like the way the guns feel. But the game has a free roam mode where you can just freely explore the beautiful city. I admit that there are not many activities you can do. The Mafia remake hardly utilizes the open world setting whatsoever.